is one thing. You are already paying the cost to the SQL storage. Again, same data you will bring it here. What will happen? Just for read-only purpose, you keep it here also. Here in the Dynamics also, you have to pay the amount for the storage. So that will be the cost for us, right? Two places you are doing the cost. So that is the reason if you don't want to store the data in our CRM, because our users won't perform any actions. They want to see the visibility. So during that time, that scenario, we will create a virtual tables. So let's see here we will create a table, normal tables. Okay. So the UI got changed. Okay, again I'm saying. Okay. So here all these sessions we are going through with the new UI only. So first we will enter what is a table display name. So for example, I want to develop like a training. Okay, this will be display name. This will be plural name, and this you will enter a description. Okay, so what is the use of the description? That is one purpose. On the form, if you go and if you mouse over it, it will show the title, right? If you want to get that kind of a title, you should enter that what you want to show on the mouse over. You will get a pop-up and you'll see the titles, right? Okay, so that you have to enter the data here. They have the entity, right? Entity, how it came. So you guys hear that. Okay, you guys hear the entity model. Okay, so we have a like every tables. So in SQL level, we have a tables, right? Okay, this table we'll call it as an entity. Okay, so like we in the .NET code, in .NET we have a C#, right? Okay, so we have a .NET core. Now we have a .NET, I mean like a .NET core and .NET framework. Okay, so we have a one concept called entity framework. So entity framework means UI plus table. So the entity framework means it will cover the UI. So general గా any web application ఏం చేస్తాము, మనం బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ ఒక టేబుల్ రాసుకుంటాము, దానికి UI డిజైన్ చేస్తాం కదా, .NET లో కానీ జావాలో కానీ దేంట్లోనా కానీ. ఓకే, సో ఈ టేబుల్ ని ఇక్కడ తీసుకెళ్లి దీనికి బైండ్ చేస్తాము. మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ UI ఎంటర్ చేసిన డేటాని ఇక్కడ తీసుకొస్తాము. ఇక్కడ UI ప్లస్ టేబుల్ రెండు క్లబ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. So that's the word entity. It came from this word. From entity framework, they took the entity because CRM is built on the entity framework in the backend. Okay. Recently, they rename it as a table. Okay. Recently, they rename it as a table. So in the system, okay, in the new Power Apps, you will see the new label called table only. There won't be any entity. In the old classic, old way, you can see the entity, old UI. That is, I told you, like it's going to be removed. With Power Apps, the entity means it's a tables. So generally in the previously also, general word is a table, but it came from the entity framework. That's the reason we are calling it as entity. Okay. Now Microsoft itself, they rename it as a table back, the wording. So because earlier Dynamics 365 only used by the only certain kind of a people only. Now they make it as a Power Apps mechanism. In the apps mechanism means it's a low code, no code. Everyone should understand this language. So table ante ఎవరైనా understand చేసుకుంటారు. Okay, entity means that sounds itself, it's like a different word to the newly business people or newly functional guys, whoever it's come. Table, it's a general word, understandable, universal word, right? That's why they rename it table. Entity, they rename it as a table. Okay, fields, they rename it as a columns. Okay, these two words in the new Power Apps you will not find anywhere. Entity, fields, these labels will be renamed as a tables, columns. Okay, that's why I kept it as an entity slash table. So slowly in next couple of years, the entity word itself, it will be removed. I mean, people itself will be, they may be, they will not remember. Okay. Next, what is a entity? So this is a like a technical definition. If you want, you can note it down. But I can tell you generally, the table is kind of a container. So it contains the columns. Okay, list of columns of different types. It captures the different types of the data. Like a entity, it's a table. So table can have a number of columns. And the column data types are different. So it may be single line of text, it may be a multi-line of text, it may be option set, it may be a Boolean, two option set, it may be date and time, it may be lookup, it may be customer, right? We have all the different types of the data types we have, which can hold the data. That's a general definition. Okay. But if you want to know the technical definition, this is the one. An entity is like a table that hosts the certain type of the data. I mean, whatever we told, it holds the certain type of the data. Okay, the entity attributes correspond to the table column. So that is the same thing. Whatever we discuss, fields, it is renamed as a table column. While record is creating in Dynamics 365, when a row will be created in a database table. Okay, so that's a general definition. Here, types of the entities. Okay, here types of the entities. Generally, we will call it as a three types. Okay, so system entities, business entities, and custom entities. Okay, so system entities means system entities or system tables means, so whatever it will come with the out of box with the default solution. So like a account, contact, lead, opportunity, okay, case, okay, campaign response, and quotation, invoice, this all anything will come with the the solution when you install it from the Microsoft. Those all call system entities. Okay, business entities. When you have when you install a separate solution, like from Microsoft, you install a Dynamics Marketing, or you install a Power Automate. Sorry, yeah, Power Automate approvals. The backend also there will be some entities will be created. Those are the business entities and custom entities. So custom entities means what we have created as per our business, as per our requirements. What the entities we will create it, that we will call it as a custom entities. Okay. So Surendra has got created some entities this week. He has a experience, right? You have created some entities this week, right? Yeah. So whatever the entities we have created, right? Those are, we'll call it as a custom entities. Again, these custom entities can be categorized two types. One is master tables. Second one is transactional tables. So master tables means it's like a master tables. So like a country, state, city, these all are like a master data. Those are like those master data can be used in a transactional tables. So like a lead, opportunity, account. Those are the transactional data tables. Okay. The master tables means master tables data. Master data tables. It will be like a configuration tables. So it will be managed by the only system admins or whoever the admin who was doing that. Okay. And this master data table will be used in the transactional tables as a lookups, as a relationships, as subgrades, whatever it is. Right? Transactional tables means, what is mean by transactional tables? Right? Transactional tables means users will interact for that entity or table regularly. So like we'll create one opportunity, we'll close it, we'll run it, whatever the operations we'll do. Right? That is user interaction. Right? For example, you have a bank account. Okay. So in your bank application form, you can see the city, state, this all the master table. But whatever the application you are creating, right? Whatever the data you are entering, first name, last name, your transaction, okay, your account, withdrawal, deposit, these all are the transactions. Your account is a transactional table. Okay, in your account, what you deposit, withdrawal, those all the things will come as a transaction. Okay, so one more important thing here, always transactional tables, okay, will comes as a team or ownership. Ownership, we have a one field that we will discuss it, but always transactional tables should come as a team or user or a team. Ownership type should be user or team. Why we have to keep that? See, you are doing the transaction. For each record, there should be one responsible owner. Okay, so మనం ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేసాం ఈరోజు. ఈ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఉమా చేశాడు. Okay, for example, if this transaction Uma is done, because that our record ki Uma is the responsible person. You can go and you can talk to Uma at any time, right? So tomorrow That some person is doing the transaction. That transaction has been done by someone X person. So in future, when you come back and you will see this transaction is done by whom? Should be owner, right? So that's the reason transaction tables, when you are creating, always it should be user or team. So again, I'm saying this is very, very important when you are creating a tables. Okay, so you have to be very careful. You first you need to decide it. I'm creating a custom table for a master data related or transactional data related. What type of data I want to store in that table. So if you are not able to identify, you can ask your seniors, like your lead or your whoever is your senior. But while creation itself, you have to decide it. Once you create it later, I want to change it, then you cannot change it. You have to delete the table and you have to recreate it. Okay, so that's clear, right? Master tables, transaction tables. So let's see how we can create a new table quickly from Power Apps. So here in the solution, you can come to here. This is the solution we have created, right? So you can come to the new. In the top, you can see the new button. Okay. So description and the primary column, you can see what is the schema name. So display name will be the primary column. Okay. And properties you can see. And if you want to enable the attachments, notes to that table. Okay, timeline control. Undi kada? So in that timeline control, if you want to attach the notes, annotations. Okay. So if you want to enable this one, we can select this option. If you go to the advanced options, okay, this will be in the background, your table schema name. So we have given our prefix as a OD underscore. So here one more important thing when you creating a table, okay, the best practice is that you should always give the schema name also small. Okay, why we have to give it as a small? In the JavaScript, when you are doing the OData query, okay, if we give a caps in the OData queries, we have to use the caps only. But whereas in C#, capital letters, it won't accept the table names, all the small letters. This confusion will come when you're doing a development, whether I have to use the caps or whether I have to use the small letters. That confusion will come, right? So for uniformity purpose, the best standards. Again, I'm saying the best standards. Okay. Always when you are creating a table or fields schema, you enter as soon as you enter the display name with the capital letters and small letters, the name it automatically it will come, right? With the capital letters only. But when you are saving it, before you are saving, the best practice is that you have to make it a small letters. So that in all the places we have to use it. Like in the Power Automate, you give the lookup columns, right? Some place entities, yes, you have to give. Sometimes some places you have to give the ES. So how that is defining while you are creating a plural name? What you have given, like that only it will take. And I told you that that's one of the example. So for uniformity purpose, this is the where Whether you are experienced guy or you have a less experienced guy, you are following standards or not following standards. These all the things they will identify here only. They by seeing a small things, people will come to know what level of experience you have. Okay. So the best standard way you have to give it this one. So next type of entity. So we have a, I told you, right? Standard is like a normal our table. Activity. Okay, we have a activity type. Activity type means email, phone call. I don't know how much level you have the use those entities, but email, phone calls, letter. Okay, letter, and we can email whatever it is. Email templates is not the thing. Phone activities. If you go to the activities tab, you can see email, phone call, letter, fax. Okay, these all the things. Okay, follow up. Okay, task. These all the activities entities. So if you want to create your custom activity. So for example, in our dynamic CRM, we don't have a SMS type as an activity entity. We don't have a SMS type as an activity entity with out of box entity. If you have a requirement, you want to store your SMSs. So then you have to create a activity type. Here you will select as activity type and you will do it. Okay. Virtual, we just now discussed it. Okay, elastic. This is something new type they have given, but I don't know. I have to explore that. Okay, this is a new thing I'm saying. These three only we have. Okay, so here standard. First we'll go through with the standard. In next session, I will explain what was the elastic. Okay. Here record ownership. Okay, this is very important, and this will be the most of the times your project interviews they will ask what is the difference between the user or a team or organization. This one we already discussed just before 5 minutes. Transaction tables, master tables. Okay. So transaction tables always should be the user or a team. Because that kind of a records we need the ownership. Ownership we need it, right? Pradeep. ఎక్కడున్నావా చూపు అక్కడే ఉంది నువ్వు ఎక్కడ ఆలోచిస్తున్నావు అందుకోసం కట్ చేయి పేరు వచ్చింది ఓకే రేపు జాగ్రత్తగా చూసుకొని కట్ చేసుకో ఓకే సో యూజర్ ఆర్ టీమ్ సో always transactional type of data it should be user or team. Organization when you will give it, it's a master data. If you feel something you are master data, then you have to give it as an organization type. So what is the main difference technically? So if it's a user or a team, you will get a owner field in the table automatically. Owner, business unit, and some other three other name for both entities will come. Owner, business unit, business owner type. Okay, there will be five fields extra will come. For organization type, organization is like it's a common for anyone. Okay, anyone it's a common. So that means there won't be owner. Everyone can do anything, right? But even in nowadays in the master data also, we are creating as a user or team only. Because in the production, since there won't be owner tracking, whatever who modifies it, we don't modified on, we'll get it. But who is the owner? What if you want to restrict in the business level? Okay. So one more important thing, user or a team. If you give this one, all the security layers will be applied. So in security roles, we have a user, business unit, parent and child business unit, organization level. So all four levels you can give it in security role, access levels. But if it's an organization entity, either you can completely remove that access level or you can give it completely organization. There is no middle layer. It's like a parent child BU, user, they won't be. So that's the reason nowadays this all the master data also we are taking it as a user or team level. Like if you ask me, sir, what should I do? I'm not able to decide it. Right? You are in a project, you are not able to take the decision. You are not able to identify it's a master data or it's organization data. If you are not able to identify anything and no one is suggesting you, then go to default with the user or a team. Okay. So user or a team, if you go with, right, what will happen in the security role level, you have to give organization level. That's it. If you create an organization level and later you want to convert as a user or team, we cannot. Okay. If you create as a user or team level, later if you want to make it organization, then in the security role, you can give it as a all the permissions as a organization level. Complete circle, you can fill it, right? Complete circle, we can fill it. But if you create an organization level, later you want to down it, you cannot down it. You have to delete the entity, you have to create it. That's the reason. If you don't know what type you want to create it, create as a user or a team. Okay. So this is clear, right? So I'm taking as a user. If you want to upload some image for this icon, like you can create a web resource. So currently we don't have any icons. For example, for account entity, you will get some icons, account and contacts, cases, you get icons, right? Those icons, if you want to upload up for our custom entity, custom tables, here we'll in the CRM, we'll create a web resource. That web resource we'll select here. For table, you want to enter some background color. In the sitemap, you want to enter some background color for the table name. You can enter that color code. Next, most important thing here. For the table, if you want to apply duplicate detection rules. So for this table, you want to create a duplicate detection rules. You need to select this option. Then only in the duplicate detection, when you're trying to create duplicate detection rule, this table will be visible there. If you are not enable this option, it won't come. Okay. At the same time, audit. So auditing. So audit history, you guys know, right? Okay. So if it doesn't know, then I will show in my next sessions. But if you want to enable the audit, so audit means who modified the record, what data is modified. Okay. So our record ni specific record ni evaru modify చేశారు, old data ఆ field కి old data ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు మారిన new data ఏంటి, అది audit history లో కనిపిస్తుంది. So here that feature you want to enable for the table, we will select this one, audit logs. Okay. So then next one, track the changes. So this is very, very important. Again, I'm saying this feature is very, very important for the custom. So if you are not enable this option, okay, when you are creating a Power Automate, in Power Automate, we have Power Automate or Logic app, we have a triggers. When record is modified or When record is updated, there it will show list of tables, right? If you are not enable this feature, this entity, it won't come there. Okay, this is a tracking the changes. So it will be like a mediator. So like in CRM, okay, this is the record is modified. It will give a message to the Power Automate. Hey boss, this is the record is modified. You can catch it. So that will be captured in Power Automate and it will pass that respective flow. Okay, if you are not enable this feature, then your Power Automates won't trigger. There you will not able to see that entity. Clear? Now allow the knowledge management. Okay, so we have a concept called KB articles. Okay, so we have a case management. Right, in the case management, we have a knowledge articles. Okay, for example, for support projects we are working, what the ticket we are working, what the fix we have given, everything we have to document it, that we have to prepare KB article and we have to attach to the ticket. So those kind of articles, we will call it as a KB articles, knowledge acknowledgement. Okay, knowledge base articles, but if you want to enable that KB articles for this entity, if you want to attach that KB articles to this particular entity, then you can enable this one. Leverage quick create form. So in the forms for the tables, we have a quick create feature. You guys aware of it, right? Quick create. Yes or no? We have in the global bar, we have a plus button. When you click on plus, there it will come a list of entities, then we can create it there. So if you want to enable the quick create feature for this table, quick create form, then we can select this one. Okay. So enable the long running retention, long term retention. I don't know this one also. It's a new feature. So table can be configuration of the data retention. Okay. This is something with the data storage. Okay, there is a new feature. It's came. Okay, but we will explore in our upcoming videos. Next thing, make this table. Okay, so where you want to show this table when I creating a new activity. So in timeline, you will click on a plus, there it will show task or email, those are things. There you want to show, or you want to set up a OneNote integration. So OneNote integration to Dynamics. So in OneNote, right? OneNote, whatever you enter that notes you want to display in Dynamics CRM, then we have to select this feature, OneNote. And SharePoint integration document, you have to enable this feature here itself. Setting, if you enable this one, when you go to the SharePoint setup document management, there this entity will show. First, you have to enable this one. This one service level agreements. So like a SLA. How many people knows this SLA? Service level agreements. Okay, for simple example, you have given a mobile to repair. They said, okay, come 2 days. After 2 days. Then what you will do? You will go for 2 days. They said, okay, give me another 10 days. Then what you will do? Either you will fight with them or you will whatever you have given the commitment for 2 days, you haven't solved it, you have to pay me the penalty. So this kind of a thing SLA, service level agreements. Okay, if you purchase a washing machine or a fridge, whatever thing, right? They will say within 24 hours we will give the support. Within a week we will give the things, warranty. These all the things will come as warranty. It won't come. Service level agreements. Okay, for example, మీరు యాక్ట్ చూస్తే టికెట్ రేట్ చేసామనుకో, యాక్ట్ ఫైబర్ నెట్ కానీ, ఓకే, ఏదైనా వేరే ఇంటర్నెట్స్ ఏవైనా కానీ, ఓకే, SLA ఉంటుంది. సో విత్ ఇన్ 24 hours లో ఖచ్చితంగా వాళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లం రిజాల్వ్ చేయాలి. జనరల్గా అయితే మనకి పేమెంట్ టర్మ్స్ ఉండవు, బట్ జనరల్లీ ఇన్ IT ఫీల్డ్ when you got a ticket, support ticket, if it is categories, SLA categories, P1 you have to close it in within 4 hours, P2 within a day, P3 within 2 days, P4 within 5 days. There will be SLS that will be between the agreement. So when you do the contract, during that time they will make the agreement. Accordingly, that price will be decided. And within the some companies they will not include the penalty. Some companies, if you cross the SLA, if you are not able to complete it, so they will charge penalty. You have to pay the penalty to the company. Okay. So that means you are not able to doing the quality of the service to us. So you have to pay penalty. Okay. So if you want to enable this setting to this entity, you have to select this one. But here it is not enabled. We have to some other configuration we have to do in the top. So now this table row. Okay. Table rows. Can we have a connections? So we have a connections. So connections and connection rows we have that we will discuss it later. But that we want to have a like a connection, or can we have a connect with the email? Or can we have a contact with the email? Have a access with the teams if you want to have access with the teams. And it can be a linked in the feedback. Can be linked to the feedback entity. If you want to get it, then you can do it. Appear in the result set. Appear in the result set means you want to show this entity in the advanced point. It can be taken offline. This is a new feature again we need to explore. It can be added to the queue. Okay, we have a queues, right?